Hi everyone. Today I am so excited to talk to you about Bridgerton Season 3, Part 1, which is now streaming on Netflix. My goodness, guys, Penelope's time is finally here. Now, as someone who has not read the books, I have been told by my friends who have that just wait for Penelope's story. It's one of the best. It's one of people's favorite books. Now, I did hear that we actually didn't know in the books that Penelope was Lady Whistledown until this book. So that is something that people were a little upset about, that it was revealed in season 1, but I was so excited to finally dive into her story and her situation. So it feels like it was a situationship for a little bit, what did it not? With Colin. So very, very excited to dive into this. Now, finally, we have it. There's 4 episodes in part 1. Part 2 is coming soon with 2 episodes to kind of finally, just round it out. But what I've got to tell you from these 4 episodes, my goodness, I was so excited. Now, I loved season 1. I thought it was really steamy and I rather enjoyed it. I enjoyed the chemistry between the 2 leads. And I felt like in season 2, I wasn't mad at it, but I felt like the chemistry wasn't there and it just wasn't as good. But now we have season 3 and oh my gosh, you guys, it's phenomenal. It goes back to that level of steamy. The 2 leads, they have chemistry. Colin and Penelope, we've been seeing it going back and forth, but we really, really see it in this season, or especially this part. I've seen all of it. But I'm only going to talk about part 1 right now. You guys will have to come back later for part 2. There's going to be minor spoiler-ish things throughout this, but they're not really going to be major spoilers, especially if you've read the books. I talked to my friend who read the books about it, and listen, this carriage scene, this is like what I just kept being told by people, that it was going to be amazing, and it is I can confirm, it is in part 1 of season 3 of Bridgerton, and my goodness, it doesn't disappoint. Listen, the actors have said that they didn't hear cut being called because they were so into it, and yeah, that's very obvious. These 2 have an incredible connection, insane chemistry. Like, the sexual tension could be cut with a knife between these 2, and that really translates on screen. And I love that because it feels like we're back to that chemistry and that excitement and romance and will they, won't they, what's happening, and rooting for them that we had in season 1. You're getting that in season 3. Now, obviously we've known, right, from the previous 2 seasons that Penelope has a thing for Colin. And now she's decided in season 3 that this is it. It's her 3rd season out, but she's decided, I want a husband. She wants that. So she recruits Colin to help her kind of find someone. And it's not really till Colin sees her connecting with someone else that maybe he gets a little jealous. And something else happens between the 2 of them. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to reveal that as a spoiler. But, he kind of starts thinking about her a lot. And there's a hot, really, really hot dream sequences. And then they go into the carriage and you're like, what? It's insane. It's so sexy. There's other stuff going on as well. It is not just them. We are getting a little bit of Benedict's story, which I guess this book was skipped over. I guess it was prior to Penelope's book. We're getting a little bit there, which is really going to come to fruition here in part 2, guys. But in part 1, we're getting a little bit of his story. Of course, things are not well between Penelope and Eloise. We know that. Eloise knows she's Lady Whistledown. Eloise is not thrilled with the fact that she is Whistledown. And so there is that tension. And this causes Eloise to form a friendship with Cressida, which is just mind-blowingly insane. But you start to kind of, I don't want to say like Cressida, because I do not like Cressida, but you start to kind of you can feel where she's coming from. She starts to feel like more of a human than just an awful human. She feels like she has that more humanity, she's not just an awful person. And I was kind of enjoying that. But I really I love Penelope in this. I think she looks absolutely stunning. I love the dresses that she wears. Everyone looks gorgeous, of course. These costumes have always been just top notch. But really, truly, this season, they've outdone themselves. There's so much that I love about season 3, part 1, and it leaves you on a massive cliffhanger when you're just like, what is going on? We don't have to wait too long for part 2. I've seen it. It's well worth the wait, guys. But sit with this for a moment if you haven't read the books. I mean, it's so good. Like I said, I haven't read the books. I want to. I plan to read the books eventually. I'm just very busy with this work. But this has inspired me. People have said Penelope's book was a favorite of theirs. Many of my friends who have read them have said that, and I can see why. I am pretty obsessed with this season and how things are going down. There's some crazy stuff going on. Anthony and Kate are back in town. There's a little bit going on with them. The queen is like done. You can tell she's like over it. But I will say I feel like I can relate to her more, and I learn a lot. I care about her a lot more in this season, and I think that's because of the Queen Charlotte of Bridgerton story that came out. I feel like I'm like, yeah, girl, I get you. Like I'd be this way too, you know? So she's kind of over it, and she's really not, you know, choosing her diamond. She's like kind of slumming it throughout this season. She's not really as excited as she usually is. And I think it's nice to have had that background on her, you know, that prequel, the Queen Charlotte of Bridgerton story, to really be able to fully understand her and where she comes from. I think that adds a lot to this season. So overall, I've got to say the steaminess and the chemistry is back. The cliffhanger is bananas. Just you guys wait. It's 4 episodes. If you've watched it already on Netflix, let me know what you thought in the comments so that we can talk about it. You guys can read my full review at MamasGeeky.com. If you haven't watched it yet, let me know if you're excited for it. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. And you guys can follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.